Alright, so nice long extension. Your hands are probably entering a little too close to your head, so you could have your hands enter just a little further up in front. Body position is good, so you're level in the water, and it looks like you're comfortable breathing. You have a slight pause when you finish the stroke on both arms. Notice how your hand sort of pauses right by your hip. You don't want to pause there. You want to finish the stroke and then bring your arm right back around just to extend for the next stroke. So that sort of tempo change will probably make you faster, just because your stroke rate will go up if nothing else changed. That right arm, when you're entering, may be a little too wide. If you recall, I talked a lot about keeping the arms wider, but maybe just slightly too wide. And then when you're extending, the point you're extending to is good. So on the entry, the only thing I really think you should change would be just to reach further in front of your head. So underwater, you are pulling with that right arm sort of well under your body. So your hand and forearm angle are changing compared to your upper arm. But if you recall the whole discussion about early vertical forearm, instead of going vertical, your arm is going inside. Your left arm, which just went by, you're doing more of a straight arm pull. So straight arm pull in general probably is a little stronger than what you're doing with your right arm. Ultimately, if you want to keep working on the technique, you would want both your arms to do the high elbow catch or the early vertical forearm. You have a strong kick. From a swimming perspective, having a good kick is fine. From a triathlon perspective, it does use a fair bit of energy, and it may tire out your quads somewhat. So kicking less and pulling harder in combination with a better technique would be a good long-term sort of approach to it. You can use a pull buoy in training to sort of train yourself not to kick quite as much. Yeah, but the main things, and let's look at this. It's a good extension point. You're not crossing over or anything. Arms, that right arm pulling under your body a fair bit. Left arm, the line you're pulling back with the left arm look good. Okay, so frame by frame. Enter pretty close to your head and then extending. Now the extension's good. That's a good extension there. Pretty good rotation as well, so good points for that. And then you start your pull, and what I'm looking at is the angle of the forearm and upper arm, and they're more or less in one line there. So what you want to see is that the forearm and hand angle down while your upper arm is still extended forward. That's the high elbow catch, or the early vertical forearm. So your arm stays mostly straight as you pull through the stroke. Now that's not bad. If you swam a lot and just continued to do that and got stronger and stronger with it, you can get pretty quick. The high elbow is 99% of people are going to be faster with it if they can get the high elbow catch. And then a good complete finish to the stroke, so that's good as well. All right, right arm. So you see your hand is right next to your head. Probably 6 inches further, 8 inches further up would be good. And then you extend forward. It's not so much that you're fighting the water when you extend, it's just that you constrict your stroke to enter that close to your head. Good reach, good extension, good rotation. So those are all good. and then initiating the stroke. So starting with a straight arm. Problem with the straight arm here is that you're mostly pushing water down right at that point, and then your hand and forearm are going to start to turn inward here. So with the inward pull like that, you're going to use more bicep, which isn't terrible. However, if you can keep that hand and forearm vertical, you use a lot more lat. Now the lat muscle is better positioned for a pulling motion like swimming, because it's a long muscle and it extends along your back, along the same axis that your arm is on. And then a good finish. So hope that all helps.